Here's the modified SF26 from Barcelona. The Barcelona tests are smiling on Ferrari as they bring the first updates to the SF26. The cars from various teams are returning to the garages after 5 days on track at the Barcelona circuit. Teams have collected important data that from now until the Bahrain test they'll have time to analyze at their respective facilities. And what has emerged is extraordinary. But before discovering exactly what Ferrari's first updates are, what to expect at Melbourne, and how it compares with Aston Martin, stay until the end. Because what you're about to hear is fundamental. From what's emerged, Ferrari can be satisfied with the initial feedback obtained from the SF26. This is a very positive signal after 5 intense days of testing on the Catalan track. The data collected has been important, and now the team will have time to analyze it thoroughly at their respective facilities before arriving in Bahrain for the next testing session. The Scuderia brought to track in Barcelona a Spec A of the SF26. This was known from the beginning and represented a deliberate strategy from the Maranello team. However, a version B of the car won't arrive at Melbourne as initially believed. This is an important revelation that changes expectations about what we'll see in Australia. From Maranello comes some revelations about Ferrari's update program ahead of the first race of 2026. This information is crucial for understanding the team's strategy. Ferrari is already preparing updates for Melbourne, but it won't be a version B of the SF26. This is the key point to understand about the Italian team's evolutionary strategy. Despite more than a month remaining until the Melbourne GP, information is already arriving about what will be the first updates Ferrari will introduce on the SF26 to seek the top. This demonstrates the team is working intensely even while testing is ongoing. Planning is fundamental in this initial phase. Despite the Montmello test still ongoing and the 6 Bahrain sessions that will give the first real indications of on-track values, Ferrari is already thinking about updates to introduce on the SF26 in Australia. This proactive approach demonstrates the team isn't simply collecting data, but is already planning the next development step. The Maranello prancing horse presented itself at the Fiorano and Barcelona shakedowns, with a different specification from what will start the season's first Grand Prix. This was announced in advance by Fred Vasseur, and the team principal explained that the initial priority was reliability, not pure performance. Unlike Aston Martin, which arrived in Spain with a rather aggressive version of the AMR26 that amazed paddock insiders and journalists with innovative and quite extreme solutions, the SF26 appears to be one of the simplest cars on the entire grid. This contrast is significant and demonstrates completely different approaches between the two teams in the initial testing phase. The SF26's simplicity seen in Barcelona isn't a sign of lack of ambition, but rather a deliberate strategy. The team wants to build a solid and reliable base before adding complexity. This methodical approach could prove winning in the long term, even if in the short term the car may seem less impressive. For this reason, as reported today by Auto Racer, the Cavallino technicians are already preparing the first updates we'll see on Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton's car in Australia. Work is already underway in Maranello, with engineers analyzing Barcelona data and preparing modifications to bring on track at Melbourne. However, we shouldn't be moving toward a Spec B of the SF26 as was hypothesized. This is an important distinction to understand. A Spec B would imply a massive and substantial revision of the car's philosophy. Instead, what we'll see will be an evolution of the current Spec A. On the Albert Park circuit, we should see a prancing horse similar to the current one, but with a new floor and updated aerodynamic solutions compared to those seen on track in the 3 testing days in Barcelona. These updates will be targeted and specific, designed to extract more performance from the existing platform without overturning the basic concept. The new floor is a particularly significant element. The floor is crucial in the ground effect era and represents one of the areas where you can gain the most performance. Ferrari has clearly identified improvement opportunities in this area based on data collected during Barcelona testing. Beyond the new floor, we'll also see updated aerodynamic solutions. This suggests modifications to the wings, bodywork, and probably other external elements of the car. These modifications will be the result of analyzing collected data and correlation work between the wind tunnel, CFD, and track. Ferrari continues to hide itself at this season's start with the hope of then playing all the cards when it's time to hunt for performance. This strategy of keeping some cards hidden is typical of Ferrari and could prove wise in a regulatory reset year where everyone is learning. The hope is that when the time comes to show the SF26's true potential, Ferrari will have a car not only fast, but also reliable and well understood. This is the advantage of starting conservatively and building gradually rather than arriving with everything immediately and risking reliability or understanding problems. The Bahrain test will be crucial to see how these updates work and to give the team further data before the first race. Bahrain offers different conditions from Barcelona, with higher temperatures and a track with different characteristics that will test different aspects of the car. What emerges is a well-thought-out long-term strategy. Ferrari isn't trying to win the tests, it's trying to win the championship. And to do this, it has chosen a methodical and patient approach that might not generate sensational headlines in testing, but could bring results when it really counts. Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton will have a fundamental role in giving feedback on these updates. The two drivers will bring different perspectives that will help the team better understand the car. Hamilton in particular brings enormous car development experience from the Mercedes era that will be precious in this critical phase. The final verdict is, here's the modified SF26 from Barcelona and what to expect at Melbourne. Barcelona tests 5 days on track, teams returning to garages, important data to analyze for Bahrain, Ferrari satisfied with SF26 feedback. Scuderia brought Spec A SF26 to Barcelona. Melbourne won't have version B as initially believed. Maranello revelations on update program for first race of 2026. Ferrari preparing Melbourne updates but not version B. Information on first SF26 updates to seek the top. Montmello tests ongoing, 6 Bahrain sessions will give track values indications, Ferrari already thinking Australia updates. Prancing Horse presented at Fiorano and Barcelona with different specification from first GP. Aston Martin in Spain with aggressive AMR, 26 version. Amazed Paddock insiders with innovative extreme solutions, SF26 appears simplest on grid. Auto Racer reports Cavallino technicians preparing updates for Leclerc Hamilton in Australia, not Spec B. Albert Park will see Prancing Horse similar to current, with new floor and updated aerodynamic solutions from Barcelona testing. Ferrari hiding at season start hoping to play cards when hunting performance. New floor is significant, crucial in ground effect era, improvement opportunities from Barcelona data. Updated aerodynamic solutions on wings and bodywork. Correlation work between wind tunnel, CFD, and track. Strategy of keeping cards hidden is wise in regulatory reset year. Hope when showing SF26 true potential will have fast, reliable, well-understood car. Advantage of conservative start. Bahrain test crucial to see how updates work. Data before first race, higher temperatures, and different track characteristics. Long-term strategy, methodical and patient, trying to win championship not tests. Leclerc and Hamilton fundamental role giving feedback, different perspectives. Hamilton brings enormous Mercedes development experience in critical phase.